Get ready for this. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is a bully with a bad attitude. That according to newly leaked emails published by the New York Post, which details some of de Blasio's temper tantrums against his own staff. In one of these emails, de Blasio lambasted his communication aides because they didn't use phonetic spellings for hard words he found difficult to pronounce. Do what I do, just mispronounce them. In another diatribe, the mayor writes, "What do I need to get you guys to follow a direct order, question mark? Do you need to experience consequences, question mark, close quote." In a follow-up email titled, "Guys, I'm fed up," which I believe he writes his own headlines, unlike the New York Post, de Blasio blames his staff for his verbal stumbles and says, "Between all of you, you haven't fixed the problem," which is bluntly unprofessional. According to the Post, City Hall insiders called de Blasio condescending and arrogant. You think so? And said the emails are an accurate portrayal of how the mayor treats his staff. But the embarrassing and typewritten emails differ greatly from how de Blasio presents himself. Take a look at this.
I also think there's a place for a thing we call good morale, where you're honored, you're respected, your work is put on the pedestal it should be put on, and you're told every day by a mayor and a chancellor, "We need you, we appreciate you, we thank you."
Based on a true story, but pure fiction. The emails will likely have no effect on de Blasio, who seems immune from embarrassment. In his first term as mayor, de Blasio faced corruption charges and probes, been caught giving preferential treatment to his donors, and used taxpayer monies to pay for his lawyers and European trips. He uses a police helicopter to avoid rush hour traffic, and when he visited the subway, he had police clear out all the homeless first. The mayor routinely spends much of the day napping and is famously late for everything, and once missed a ceremony honoring the victims of a plane crash because he, quote, "had a very rough night and woke up sluggish." He even killed a groundhog by dropping it on a Groundhog Day in a photo op, then tried to cover it up. I guess he stuffed it. Last month, he skipped the funeral of a slain officer because he wanted to join a left-wing anti-Trump protester in Germany. Remember that? A trip financed by city funds, of course. Despite all of that, de Blasio will likely, and I hate to say this, cruise to re-election this fall, and that is sad. Reverend Michael Faulkner is a candidate for New York City Comptroller, and he joins us right now. Why don't you run for mayor first?
Brian, I tried that, and believe me, we couldn't get the kind of traction that we would be getting now. But here's the thing: there are two people in that position, the Comptroller and the mayor, and the mayor needs to go, but the Comptroller needs to control the mayor if the mayor doesn't go.
What's amazing, that's true. So you're going to play a big role, and of course your sports background, your work ethic, what you do for kids on a regular basis makes you the perfect politician because you care more about the people than actually having success and getting rich. In de Blasio's case, he's doing everything to blow it. The word is today that he gets into work at 10 o'clock after working out, is so tired he sleeps on his couch with a newspaper on his head to block out the overhead lights and demands people quiet down.
It's unbelievable. And then he berates his staff because he's a micromanager that can't micromanage because he's not there to micromanage.
Right. And
you know, he doesn't show up to do his job, and then he berates his staff for not doing their job.
So what I don't understand is you had Mayor Bloomberg win as a Republican, even though he was more of a moderate, and no one could ever question Mayor Bloomberg's work ethic and his views. And by the way, he wrote a lot of checks for people, and no one ever knows it.
Right.
Man, Rudy Giuliani transformed this city twice as a Republican.
Oh my goodness!
You're a Republican. Why don't Republicans have any traction anymore?
He was having staff meetings. Rudy Giuliani used to have staff meetings at 7 o'clock his first year out. Then he gave him a break. He started having staff meetings at 8 o'clock every morning. But listen, it's not about Republicans, Democrats. It's about connecting with the people, connecting with the voters. I'm connecting with the voters right now. The people are believing in me. I'm spending a lot of time in public housing, and they're fed up with de Blasio. They're fed up with Stringer. They're fed up with the rhetoric, for the progressive rhetoric. They simply want jobs and equal opportunities, and that's what we're talking about. Those are the conversations we're having.
Michael, I have a unique perspective because I've lived in Long Island, and I went to school in Long Island, so every 2 or 3 months I have a reason to go in the city, and for the last 20 years I do it every day. I watched the city transform when they said it was impossible. I watched crime just dissipate. I watched the graffiti go, and 42nd Street is now a tourist place, and I'm seeing it go the other direction. Where's the outrage?
The outrage should be from those people who were protesting the election of President Trump. They should be protesting now the existence of Bill de Blasio. They should be protesting where the city is going. But the way we can protest is in November we can vote the bums out. We can drain the swamp. we truly have an electorate, and we have some opportunities to truly elect people who are going to represent the people.
You know, the Democratic governor can't stand the Democratic mayor. They hate each other. They can't stay at the side of each other. They needle each other constantly and work against each other. But what does it say about New York that they're not demanding more? I mean, the fact is that 46% of people say he deserves another 4 years, and 46% says he doesn't. This should be a black and white issue.
One of the unfortunate statistics about New York is that we have become the most corrupt state in the union in terms of elected officials that go to jail or that are under investigation for crimes or for for mismanagement. That's unfortunate. It creates a distrust in the minds of the electorate. People don't trust the politicians. They won't vote for them. They disengage from the process.
I just want to get your perspective quick on what's happening to Colin Kaepernick. And you know, as a football player, an outstanding one in college and played in the NFL, you know that he does not have a job. He evidently turned down a $900,000 job because it was insulting. And by the way, you now have Spike Lee saying, I'm organizing a protest. Right. No one goes to a football game or buys any football paraphernalia until he gets a job. 140,000 people are signing on to that petition. What's your reaction?
Well, listen, first of all, football is a business. They're an employer. They employ Colin Kaepernick. I'm proud of him for expressing his political views. He has a right as an American to express his political views. And those employers have a right to fire him or not to hire him. He is a highly paid employee of an organization that has the right to say the kind of employees they want. And they're expressing their rights. He's expressing his. If he's a real martyr, you know, he's suffering the consequences for his political opinion. Take it like a man.
Michael, great to see you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
And I hope you have some success in the fall.
Thank you.
All right, great to see you. All right, coming up.